What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with another haul video. A huge mail call, including some cool swag from a certain member of the community, a mystery box, some foreign comics, etc., etc., etc. So if you want to see what I picked today, you got to stay tuned for the video. So before we get into all of this comic book goodness, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification. So when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. Talking about people that we appreciate, how about the ever-growing list of YouTube and Patreon channel supporters, people that are supporting this channel through their monthly membership. If you are interested in the benefits of being a supporter, then feel free to click the links in the description below. This month, one of the giveaways are certainly not the least of which benefits of being a member, is an X-Men 4 9.8 CBCS slab. And all you have to do to enter to win that is to be a member of one or both of the memberships. So for each membership, you get 10 chances to win. And for every $1 of super chat given away on a live show or a premiere, then you get one entry to win. And then at the end of the month, we'll spin the wheel and we will see who will get it. So there is that. All right, let's talk about Who Dat Comics. Who Dat, I forget what show it was on, if it was like Creamer and Cash or some auction he was on. If you see my previous video, you saw where I won that said X-Men 4 from a mystery box. So, and you might remember the story, but for those of you who weren't blessed enough to watch that previous video, let me give kind of a synopsis. So basically, I had put in the number that I wanted to get previously, and somebody else took that number. So I decided to take the number that was left. And it proved to be the right decision because I feel like I certainly got the better mystery box. So fast forward to this mystery box. And the person that had got the other one was another seller. And I put in the chat, hey, pick which one you want because I'll pick the opposite one. So he did. And I think I scored on this one. So let me show you what I got. So on Who Dat's mystery boxes, at least the ones that he's been doing, he's got several raws. He's got one slab, and then we will put your name on the wheel for an additional slab. So let's show the raws first. We got Hardware number 1, X-Men number, is it 11? It's the first appearance of somebody, so it's kind of a big book in the beginning. And this is the Peach Momoko. It looks like X-Women babies. And so I'm not a big Peach and Momoko fan, Austin over Peach, right? But this was definitely a cool cover. So, and anytime you can get a mystery box where you actually get stuff like, man, I'm planning on keeping that versus I'm selling it off, I don't want it. It's definitely a plus. Hulk number 1, the second print. This is a wraparound cover. This is the first appearance of the Red Hulk and the death of Abomination. This was a book that I've been wanting to pick up, never wanted to pay the price for it. And yeah, so I got this one. So that was pretty cool. Another X-Men book. Like several of the negative space variants, and John Tyler Christopher knocked it out of the park with this one. There's a green one, a red one, and a white one. I think the green one is like the least expensive of them. I think the white one is the most expensive, but nevertheless, I didn't have one because I didn't want to go on to the website and pick one up, and then they were sold all out, and got this. So I was like, boom, another one to keep in the PC. We got Hunger number 1. This is an awesome Adi Granoff Galactus cover. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, but it is definitely a cool Galactus cover there. And then Nomad, Girl Without a World, number 1 of 4. I don't know anything about this book, so yeah. Then let's see what I got on the slab. I got a 9/8 CGC Green Lantern 20. This is the first appearance of Jessica Cruz. And if you've been watching the channel, you know that some of the Green Lantern keys are stuff that I've been kind of specking on because I know that they're underpriced. They're not really valued where I think they will be. And this is a really, I have a raw copy of this, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that one and sell this one, or keep this one, sell that one. I might just keep both of them because, like I said, I'm kind of specking on this. And then if it gets hot, I'll probably sell the slab because they're easier to sell most of the time, or you can sell them for more of a premium. But it's a really cool wraparound cover with all the different lanterns there, finding the first lantern. So pretty cool. And if you might not have already guessed, I won the giveaway slab as well. And that was for X-Men Phoenix End Song, number 1, Greg Land cover there. And it is a 9/4, older CGC slab, but pretty cool nevertheless. So there you go. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about Who Dat's mystery boxes, and stay tuned for Who Dat being on several different channels, because I think he's still selling off some of his collection to either send some bigger books to CGC or CBCS. And I know that he was trying to get some to kind of get his house fixed up and stuff like that. So pretty cool. We got those. Then I saw ME Comics, who is a frequenter of the Saturday morning auctions that we do here on the channel at 1 p.m. Central Time. And he had some books up for sale. So typically on an Instagram, unless it's just like a huge key that I've been looking for, I normally will check several different posts that a seller has and to see if there's several books that they have that I want to pick up, because otherwise I'm like, I don't want it to be one little book that has a whole bunch of shipping charges in it. So I got a whole bunch of money in that one book. But so this was a book that I've been wanting to pick up. I haven't found it on the cheap, and I did find one book that went with it. Turok number 1. So he actually had several Turoks, but that's the only one that I keep because I got the whole set. It's just anytime I find a Turok 1 on the cheap, I wouldn't have bought the Turok 1 and put all the shipping costs in there. But since I was going to get this other slab that I'm going to show you, I decided to pick that one up as well. So this right here is a first appearance. And is the first appearance of Cad Bane, Darth Maul number 2. It is a 9/0 white pager. And there is some color rub on the back of this black cover. And that is probably what dinged it, because corners look fairly tight. Okay, there's some. Now those spine ticks right there look pressable, but I don't know if it'd be worth cracking out. I guess if Cad Bane ends up being used on Disney Plus or something like that, it will become a lot more valuable of a deal. But the interesting thing to me is that it's not even listed on the label. So not even listed on the label as Cad Bane's first appearance. So what do you do? I don't know if that was before that became a big thing, or Cad became a bigger deal, or if this is a classic mix-up for CGC. And I noticed that this plastic case, I don't know what to do with that in. I'm going to probably contact him and ask him, was this more of a recent deal? Because if this is a recent CGC slab, that would explain why it looks like garbage. Now, in all fairness to CGC, I have noticed where they're catching up with their work. It remains to be seen if that's a good thing. And by that, I mean that, yeah, you can catch up with your work all day long. But if you're just popping grades on things and sending them out, then what good does that do? If the community as a whole loses faith in CGC's validity as a result of something like that, then again, it's not really worth getting them out that quick. I am still waiting. I finally got confirmation from CBCS this week that they have received my books. Of course, they received them 3 months ago. So what do? But according to the representatives of CBCS, this wasn't a third party. These people actually work for them that were at the Dallas Fan Expo. They said that whatever the timeline on them is now, like 4 months, 5 months, they backdate that to the time that the books actually came in. So we'll see. And of course, when I get them, I will be putting them here on the channel. Just happened to be going through a YouTube auction and saw Mr. HGM Law throw this slab up. And similar to the Cad Bane, this was one that I've had my own eye on. It's not one that you see that often. And typically when you do, it's a high grade one period that people just want to ask a lot of money for. So this is Detective Comics 411. This is the first appearance of Talia al Ghul. Now, if you're familiar with the channel, you know that I collect Batman, in particular the main storyline Batman, not detective. But there are a lot of detective comics that have a lot of good first appearances in them. And so when they do, I like to pick them up. So this is some classic Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil goodness here. And of course, Talia al Ghul, the mother of Batman's son. And so some 15-cent gooder right here. Unfortunately, I did not pay 15 cents for it, but I did manage to get slab. And I was indifferent as to whether or not it mattered if it was raw or slab. It was just the fact that he threw it up. It was a decent deal, and for something that I've been looking for, and the fact it was slabbed kind of, I guess, was just an added bonus. So let's see what we got right here. This is from Legion of Comics. If you're not familiar with Legion of Comics, you are obviously hiding under a rock somewhere, because Mark over at Legion of Comics is definitely a growing channel. And so his dad, I don't know if technically his dad, posts Pop's Attic on Instagram, posts books online of his personal collection that he's trying to thin out. Well, lo and behold, I found one. It was a Defiant comic, which you know that I collect. If you're familiar with the channel, know that I collect Valiant and its cousins. So that would include Defiant or Broadway, Bad Idea, the gold key books that are associated with what would be later the Valiant characters. Solar, Turok, Magnus, the Robot Fighter. So I found one that I didn't have. So it was only $2, but I couldn't. He wasn't posting anything else that I was wanting or needing. I'm like, I hate to. I said, well, I'll pay you the $2 because I'll pay you the $2, and if you can just hold that book, because I really don't want to have $11 in a dollar book, you know. And so he was holding it. He said, hey, look, just go ahead and send me your pay me the $2, and we're going to see. Mark's got some stuff to send out to you anyway, so we'll just put it in there. I was like, awesomeness. So that's what we did. So shout out to Mark and Pop's Attic. So we're going to show this book, and then we'll show you what I got from him. This is The Great Grimax, number 0. So yeah, this is a really thin book, which leads me to believe it was like some giveaway or something. Because I was it was at a Hero comic, Hero Illustrated. So Hero Illustrated was like Wizard there towards the fall of the 90s. So this is written by Jim Shooter, drawn by Dave Cockrum, inked by Jose Delbo. I mean, you've got some serious heat. I mean, Dave Cockrum. I mean, you're talking about of X-Men fame, of course, Jim Shooter, and then Jose Delbo did a lot of books with Transformers and Batman back in the day. So this was a little book. Looks like Defiant was preparing for Schism, which was kind of a crossover, which Jim Shooter was well known for being able to pull off. Written by Jim Shooter with Lynn Wein. Of course, I think we all know that. Dave Lapham on the art. Dick Giordano on the art. Wow. It's just amazing to me how that Shooter was able to, whatever company he was at, was able to just amass this amount of talent around him. And then some of these books that don't really get a lot of love, maybe they're kind of cheesy. By today's standards, they're fantastic because, well, anyway, that's another story for another day. But but to have these classic artists and writers on these books that don't ever get any love. I mean, Steve Ditko was doing work for Shooter at Defiant too. So, all right. So we've got that. I'll get back in this little deal. And then we got this from a Legion of Comics. Cover up his address right there. And I believe that these are going to be stickers. I am part of the Legion there, a member of his channel, as he is of mine. And he got some stickers here. First off, we are Legion. Says, Jason, thank you for joining Legion. Truly the greatest community there is. Your support of the channel means more than you'll know. And he signed it. So pretty cool. I've got to step my game up, folks. Got to step my game up because I only have one sticker, and it's not on these like hardback things. It's on a roll, so it's like. Anyway, I've got plenty of them, and for those community members, a lot of them buy books from me. I throw them in there, but fandom happens here. And then the classic Legion of Comics. So I've been taking a cue from Panda Awesome because I've been getting, community members send their stickers and stuff. I'm like, where do I put these things? So I've got my little portfolio that I'll typically use for like bigger books that I pick up or maybe taking to a con. And all the community member stickers are on there. So that's where these are going to go. So appreciate that. Again, if you're not familiar with Mark, then I'm sure you've been hiding under a rock somewhere, but Legion of Comics on YouTube. Okie doke. I went on Whatnot. Let's talk about some Whatnot here. Whatnot, and I don't even remember, what is the seller's name here? It doesn't show it on the deal. This is just my invoice. Shows my name on here, but got Wolverine 15. I think this is the Alan Qua variant. So he had a lot of these where he would show the one with the trade dress and the Virgin. I'm totally okay with the trade dress on these, which we're going for less money, less competition for. So pretty cool. So I got Wolverine 15 and I got Wolverine 14. So similar to what I was mentioning earlier with Instagram. So if I go on and buy a book on Whatnot, typically I'll stick around for a while, hopefully find some more stuff so can kind of save on some shipping. This is Wolverine 14. This is, again, the trade version of this. And this is a callback to Andy Kubert back in the 90s, a scene where him and Juggernaut squared off in some similar fashion. So that was pretty cool. This is Andy Kubert didn't do this cover. This is a Kyle New cover, looks like. But this is an homage to that scene. It's not a cover. It's not an Andy Kubert cover. It's Andy Kubert art inside the book. So pretty cool. Picked those up from the Whatnot. And then I also got another Whatnot package in here from Jeff Hard to Come By. So Jeff Hard to Come By he still has a relatively small YouTube channel or presence. I know he was trying to get some things going. Well, when Whatnot presented itself, he went there and took off. I mean, he's got a bunch of followers there on Whatnot, and he does auctions there every week. So he will routinely visit on Thunder God's channel and do an auction over there. And he always throws in freebies. So I got some Marvel Superheroes gummies. I got a Lego Joker from him one time. That was pretty cool. So the kids will be eating these later. And there, so when I go on Whatnot, I typically just do like lot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that way it gives me the versatility that if somebody comes in and says, hey, I'm looking for Spider-Man, I'm looking for Batman, I can kind of move with that as opposed to trying to go through all the ones that I've already kind of slated to be up there. I know I've talked to some other people that say, well, you'd be better off because then people already know. Well, so he does the work, does the heavy lifting, and then puts them up there. So I noticed that he had one of these particular books in there, and so I went after it, and I was able to pick this up. So this is Immortal Hulk number 12. This is the Alex Ross cover. This is the one Immortal Hulk that I was missing to complete my Immortal Hulk run, except for number 50, which came out at the time of this taping, came out this week. And I have not been to the comic shop to pick up a copy yet. But aside from that, I have all the Alex Ross covers. Immortal Hulk number 12. And I looked up and picked up some, talking about Kubert a while ago. This is Andy Kubert here. Robin Rises Alpha. Peter Tomasi on this Kubert cover. Picked it up for $1. So couldn't beat that as well. And then he threw in the bonus book here, free comic book day, Space Pirate Captain Harlock. Don't know anything about that, but he threw it in there for free. It looks like a anime type deal, Ablaze Publishing. I've heard of them. So pretty cool. Put in this nice little neat bubble wrap mailer, which I will reuse. So those are my Whatnot pickups. So let's talk about my foreign comic pickup. So this is all the way from Norway. I don't even know if people in Norway sound like that, but I just gave them that. So put these fragile handle with care stickers, and then he wrote on the back. I don't know if he wrote. I don't know if he wrote "Stay off my lawn, you big idiot," or if he says, "Please don't bend this box." I don't know because I don't read Norwegian. Then you might say, well, why are you getting Norwegian comics? Look, there's some people that don't even read American comics. They just look at the pictures. So in foreign comics, I typically try to stick with books that I really like the covers. They're classic covers type deal. Sometimes I venture out of that. I will say that I feel like I'm trying not to cut into the box. I noticed one thing I'm doing. But with the foreign comics, I feel like I'm better focused or more focused than I am with American comics. I'm sure that some of that comes from the fact that the foreign comics are just replicas of the American comics, and you can't read them. And so there's some comics that I get to read, and then they're really not worth it to me to collect, really. Just stuff that I read. So with the foreign comics, I just stick with the classic covers, which was a suggestion to me by several foreign collectors to do that. Otherwise, you will go down a rabbit hole from which your net worth will never return. So. I ordered a couple of these right at the same time. Spent way too much money too. at the same time. So I don't remember which one this is. Which ones this is, because there's several, a couple of them in here. All right, I will say that while the package is tight, it was not done with the idea that somebody would need to cut through it one day. Painter's tape, pull tabs would be fantastic. Just saying. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Okay, I remember this one. Okay. So interestingly enough, this looks like something out of an encyclopedia. We've got a little timeline on the back of it. The encyclopedia was sacrificed so that my books would make it all the way from Norway in one piece. So this is the classic Batman 251, I believe, Neil Adams cover. So again, talking about keeping with the classics there, Norwegian version of that. So I've got a copy that I got American version that I got signed by Neil Adams. So it'd be cool to get Neil Adams to sign that one for me as well. I had a tip-top Australian version of that in my sights, and it eluded me and went up to astronomical prices there on eBay. And I was looking at it at the same time, and I was looking at this one. So then we've got the Batman, The Killing Joke. Classic Brian Bowling cover there, Batman the Killing Joke. And I've got like the first 7 or 8 printings on Batman. I keep wanting to say Batman last. The Batman the Killing Joke. I've got the first several printings of that. I think there was like 12 or 14 in all. But it is, look at that. The Varangian Vigilante would definitely approve of that. That's the interesting thing about foreigns is that, because, I collect Hulk 181s, but some Hulk 181s have different covers. I don't really deal with them. Similarly, you might have the cover, but not the contents of the book. So in this particular book, this has the Killing Joke in here. It also has some other stuff like Sandman. And I'm not sure what the other, it's a Warren Ellis story, but it's not one I'm familiar with. So seems very strange, but it stands to reason. It's Warren Ellis. Interesting. The Sandman. So yeah, they'll typically have multiple different books. Might not even be related in there. So kind of cool. Kind of cool is cool. So the Norwegian versions of that. Well, and it says it right there, Batman, Sandman, and Transmet, whatever that is. All right, so those are the ones that I got from Norway, and they've been a long time coming for sure. So shout out to everybody that I picked up books from for the good packaging. Thanks to Mark for the stickers and the free shipping on the book that I already bought from your dad. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think about this haul video. So are you picking up any of those things, or those things look like something that you would have gotten into your collection? Or are you collecting something different? If you're not familiar with the channel, I do welcome you and encourage you to hit that subscribe and bell notification button, because we do videos like this, unboxing random stuff, toy unboxings, comic book auctions, et cetera, here on this channel. And that's what we do. That's how we roll. It's not a panda roll, but that's how we roll. And so until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.